Hey, so this is my testimony of over the last few months. I'm probably going to do a couple of different videos. That way, if you're interested in it, you can watch it. If not, then okay. But I told the Lord that I would testify of all the awesome things that He's done over the past few months. So, anyway, we're starting off in June of this past year, which is 2022. On the 21st of June, I found out that I was pregnant. I hadn't been acting myself really, and so I decided, let's just show that I'm not pregnant and go ahead and take a test. And so that morning before I went to work, I went and I took a test, and it was positive. But then I started looking at the back of the box that the test came in, and it had been expired a year prior to that. So I came out and I told my husband what was going on. I said, don't put any faith in it. I said, it's probably not right because it's expired. So, but I still, when I was on the way to work, I went ahead and called the doctor's office, and they told me to take another test the next day, and then call them and let them know if it was positive or not. So I go to work and I see my boss, and she is a previous labor and delivery nurse. And so she looks at me and she says, Becky, are you okay? And I said, yeah, no, I'm not sure. I said, can I talk to you? So I was able to go and just talk to her, and I just asked her, I was like, well, how likely is it to be accurate? And she thought it was pretty, it could be very accurate, she said. So she offered to go and get me some more tests. I told her, no, I'm at work. It'll be all right. I'll be distracted while I'm here. I'll take it easy, but I'll just, it'll be all right. I'll wait till I get off of work before I go and take another, or go get some more tests. And so after I finished work that day, I did get off early and I went up the road. I live about 30 minutes away from my work, so I went up the road to Dollar Tree and I got some tests, and got a couple of them. Went back to the hospital where I work at and went in there and took the test because I couldn't wait. I just wanted to verify if it was true or not. And I took 2 more tests and they popped up positive right away. So I called my husband and I told him, and he got quiet on the phone. And I said, are you happy, or are you, what's going on? Are you there? And he said that he was happy. Just, it was amazing how God had opened that door for us to finally become pregnant. We've been married 12 years, and we had 1 miscarriage. And after that, we didn't think that we could have any kids. And last January, I had my son and his bride had my first grandbaby, and so I was like, okay, well, this is just a new chapter in my life, and so we're not gonna have any more kids, but the Lord is still blessing me, and so I was excited to be a grandma and all of that, and then all of this comes about, and I'm like, wow, okay. So I was really excited at first, and I told a few people. I had to tell my coworkers because I was pregnant and I couldn't do the things that I normally do, as far as pulling on patients and the just normal things that a nurse has to do. I still could do a lot of this stuff, but just not anything that would hinder the pregnancy or anything. So during that time, um, someone brought to my attention that they had a friend that, they had a positive test, um, but it wasn't accurate. And it was because they were going through the change. And so after I'd had my hopes all built up, I was thinking, well, in the back of my head, what if this is it? And so it was just fear began to come in, and I was worried about how my husband was going to take it and everything if it wasn't accurate. So, and I had already made an appointment to see my doctor, but they couldn't see me until July. And because nobody knew how far along I was. I have PCOS, and so I don't have regular cycles or anything like that. So I just, I just didn't really know, but I knew that um, I was staying nauseated and I was not myself. I was getting frustrated easier. Just several things, just not myself at all. So I knew something was going on. And anyway, but that fear was still there. And so I didn't tell Matt about what I've been told about about someone else having a positive test, and it was just them going through the change of life. I was scared too. Not that he would have been upset at me. I just didn't want him to be let down and be on a roller coaster ride, because that's what I felt like I was on, and just very emotional and everything. So July 12th comes around, and that is the day of our first appointment. So I was able to go, and Matt was able to go, and we had our ultrasound, and we got to see our baby boy for the first time. We didn't know that he was a boy, obviously, but I was almost completely finished with my first trimester by the time we had that ultrasound. And so that's July the 12th that we were able to see that and everything. And we were so happy. And because we had wanted this for so long. And I was able to go and confirm everything with my coworkers, and I still didn't tell everybody. I didn't tell a lot of people. I just wanted to, I don't know, I guess I was kind of scared. On July 15th, I started having some bleeding, and I was scared. I was scared a whole lot. That was a Friday. I was on call that weekend, and went to the ER, and I was like thinking to myself, this is just a repeat of the last time. And I was just scared to death that I was going to lose this baby, and we were going to lose this baby, and we were so happy and just looking so forward to bringing this new life in. And so on the way to the doctor, we had our church family praying, and several of our friends praying with us, and I was looking up scripture, and had a couple of them that really were brought forth at this time, but one of them that I found was in Jeremiah, and I think it's Jeremiah. It might have been James. I can't remember. Either way, it says how every good and perfect gift comes from the Father of lights, within whom there is no variableness and no shadow of turning. I think it's James 1:17. I'll look it up, and I'll put it at the bottom if I can figure out how. But just several scriptures were coming and just confirming that it's going to be okay, but I was still scared to death. I really was. And we got brought back to the back of the ER, and they wanted me to have blood tests and all of this stuff done, but they also wanted to get a sonic or an ultrasound, but nobody was there to do that. So what they wound up doing is looking for the baby's heartbeat and with a Doppler. So with him being as small as he was at the time, it wasn't very likely that they would find it. And the nurse that came in, she says, well, look, don't get scared if we don't hear the heartbeat right away, because the baby's small and it's harder to find. And she told me straight up, she says, and I am not a labor and delivery nurse. This is not something I do all the time. But as soon as she put it on my stomach, and there was his little heartbeat, and I know that was the Lord just easing my mind and easing Matt's mind, because during all of this, he was just being uber strong, and I know he was doing it for me. And he's just, the way he's stepped, I can't really say stepped up, but it really is, the way that he stepped up is just been amazing throughout this entire process. And I'm very blessed to have him. So we were confirmed that, you know, baby boy was fine, or baby was fine, and heart rate was good. It was like 154 beats a minute, and it was, I mean, just everything was looking good. They wanted me to have a follow-up appointment the next week with my doctors, and so we went for that and had another ultrasound. Everything looked fine, and so we were just, and by then the bleeding had stopped and everything. So I was just really cautious and all of that. And so yeah, that was the first scare during the pregnancy. And everybody was just checking on us, and my co-workers were amazing, and my friends and my brothers and sisters in Christ were just amazing, just checking and making sure that we were good and all of that, and uplifting us in prayer. So yeah, I think this video is long enough. It's about 13 minutes now, so I'm going to stop this one and we'll go to another one. If you want to continue on, that sounds great. Yeah, come on and see what all happens. I will say that we did have some more follow-up visits with the doctor. During that time, I started watching my sugar, because diabetes runs in my family and my sugars were running high, and I wasn't sure if it was because of the pregnancy or if it was because of being diabetic normally. I didn't go get my numbers and all of that checked, and so I didn't know. So I started watching what I ate, and just watching the sugars and everything. I started checking my blood sugar 4 times a day, and a fasting one and one after each meal, and had to cut out a lot of carbs and things, because I saw how high my blood sugar was getting, and I wanted everything to be safe for baby. So on August the 29th, we were 19 weeks and 6 days along, and found out that we were having a baby boy. And we decided that we would name him Nathaniel, and because it means gift from God. And so that's our baby boy's name. The Lord has been faithful through all of this, and He has strengthened us. And I don't know everything that I'm supposed to learn through this whole process, or how it was supposed to help me grow, but I know that I've grown, and I know that Matt's grown spiritually, and we'll just see how everything comes about, why we have been through all of this. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to end this video here. We're at about 15, a little over 15 minutes, and I'll start back on the next video.